The 2017 season is in the books for Terracross. A season of door-to-door, bone-jarring action from 4 different championship classes. The feisty ladies of the Fly Racing Pro Women's class. The true grit of the Pro-Am Razor XPs, the Sedona Tire Celebrity X Turbo, and the pros in their Odyssey Battery Turbo 1000s who left everything on the track. Courses and competitors were not always kind, but in the end, true champions rose to the top. This is the 2017 Terracross Championship. Hello and welcome everyone to the WPS Fly Racing 2017 Terracross recap presented by Polaris Razor. And we go back to where it all started, North Branch, Minnesota, and Heydays, the biggest snowmobile event in the world, held in the summer in a field in Minnesota. Tess Sewell along with Grant Langston bringing you all the action from this season. And wow, at Heydays, the heat started early with the Fly Racing Pro Women's class, where competition started right from the get-go.
Yeah, 2 of our favorites probably going for this championship, Jolene and Jamie Luberg. Sarah Price in there on row 1. No, she could always get involved. But you'd probably have to say, I think a lot of people had Jolene Van Voot picked as the champion going into this series. Race 1 underway. She got out front quite quickly there, getting around Sarah Price. See Jamie Luberg in the background. This track was really good. The woman really airing it over these big jumps. So Sarah Price drove strong early in the race. Jamie Luberg, her brother, builds the tracks. Things were calm early in the race. And then Kayla Savage, she would have a mechanical forcing out of this one.
Addison Nibel, in her first race in Terracross, put in a valiant effort, but this really was a 3-way race. Van Voot, Price, and Luberg, and look at this. Price making a mistake, riding right into the back of Jolene Van Voot on the Sedona Tire Ripsaw Ridge.
Then she has to have another stab at it. That could have been a lot worse. Probably could have been tipped over backwards, but she was able to carry on. And then the battle would continue for second place between Luberg and Price. Price trying the outside, Luberg keeping it clean up the inside, but nobody was able to catch Jolene Van Voot on day 1. Jamie Luberg was able to come through, take second, and a close, hard-fought third for Sarah Price.
An absolutely fantastic race for Jolene Van Voot to start out her season, winning the first Terracross race in North Branch, and she was down with Georgia Lindsay.
I kind of have more of a past of crashing and riding really kind of crazy and erratic, and I've been able to kind of bring my riding down and be calm, and I focus more on my breathing, taking the smooth lines, not getting too upset about people being around me, and that was actually my first ever win in Terracross.
Jolene Van Voot hoping for a repeat in race number 2, but Jamie Luberg was on pole position for this race.
Yeah, she got out to a good jump. Jolene a little bit further back in the pack. She would be trying to make her way through. Luberg had the lead early. Saw Jolene tried the inside, but that outside momentum enables Luberg, who makes a big mistake. And we had mentioned that during the live event at how well Jolene was able to avoid that. I mean, she really was so close. You would have thought she would have pushed Luberg over there, but great reaction timing, saved it there. And Sarah Price would get in the action. She does a, well, great executed block pass, gets the drive, and was able to get around Luberg.
Sarah Price driving aggressively through all of the events when we were out at Heydays. And here really challenging both Jamie Luberg and Jolene Van Voot And unfortunately, Kayla Savage, 2 for 2 out of the race again with a mechanical. But check out the action here. Jamie Luberg fighting her way through the middle, putting pressure on Jolene Van Vught.
Yeah, she did there. You see here, got around Sarah Price after their restart. Great battle for the lead. And then this happened. Right there, Jolene had everything going in her way. A very hard, aggressive landing on that front end. So bent up, she was forced out of the race. See the Odyssey battery on board showing you the disappointment. We could see it on her face. Because that really then opened the door for Jamie Luberg, who was just able to hold on from Sarah Price. Great race for second there.
And there you see it. Jamie Luberg took the win over Sarah Price. Jolene had to settle for 4th. Georgia caught up with Jamie.
Fun racing out here this weekend. The track is awesome. Huge jumps, a lot of carnage going on, and the women's class is the one to watch right at the moment.
With pro women in the books, we'll now turn to our Pro-Am Razor XP 1000 when we return to Terracross.
Terracross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Polaris Razor. Fuel your freedom. By FlyRacing.com. And by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world.
Welcome back, everyone, to the WPS Fly Racing 2017 Terracross recap presented by Polaris Razor. Tess Sewell, Grant Langston, and Georgia Lindsay, we're bringing you all the action that happened right now from North Branch, Minnesota, and the Heydays event. Coming up next, our Pro-Am Razor XP 1000 class was on track after enjoying themselves some hillbilly fries to get fueled up for this race, Grant.
Oh, there was tons to do out here. Big crowd. This is a big event, and they really enjoyed their Terracross action. Also some great weather and great racing to go with it. Darren Meath on pole, Ross Robinson there alongside him. Row 2, you had Andy Ives, Jason Plouffe, and Jeff Skase.
And Andy Ives, really, he had showed himself not as well as he should in qualifying, but a problem there for Ross Robinson off the start line allowed Ives to just thread his way through.
Yeah, out early, Darren Meath got out front, but then you see him get a little bit stuck there. He too would have a mechanical. So it seemed like round 1 of the series, several mechanicals. This track was pretty tough.
And there you see the fight there between Jeff Skase and Jason Plouffe. And a tough, tough day for Jeff Skase coming over onto his side. And look at this Lucas Oil on board for Skase.
Yeah, just trying to turn down a little tighter there. He would go over, then Ross Robinson would leave the track. It's a battle of attrition out there. And a battle up front as these guys were going at it. Ives just able to make that work. Great line as he goes through the Sedona Tire Ripsaw Ridge. A lot of action through there throughout the weekend.
And in the end, it would be Andy Ives taking his first win of the season. The North Branch, Minnesota local, who is an engineer for Polaris, takes a great win. Our very own Georgia Lindsay caught up with Andy.
I'm a little out of breath, a little winded. It was kind of dicey there for a while. Guys are tipping over and all that kind of stuff. So we'll take some notes from this round, and we'll head into the afternoon here and have some more fun.
The second race of the weekend for our Pro-Ams, Skase and Plouffe on the front row.
Yeah, good start around the outside for Plouffe. But then, spectacular rollover there. Take a look at this. Just sticks that front end, rebounds over the logs. Almost was able to do a full front flip.
Plouffe doing the freestyle. Darren Meath having problem in the Fox Proving Grounds, but an even bigger problem coming up for a challenge Darren Meath later as they went into the Sedona Tire Ripsaw Ridge.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. Two vehicles coming together. Meese coming out the worst on that one. Well, you could also throw a little bit of blame potentially to Pluff for coming over a little bit. Definitely not intentional. Unfortunately, that's racing.
And meanwhile, Andy Ives, the number 4 black and orange machine, takes another checkered flag, making it 2 for 2 for his weekend in his hometown of North Branch, Minnesota. And there you see it, Ives over Robinson over Skase, and Ives again caught up with Georgia.
Yeah, the track was changing a little bit, so we were changing up our lines a little bit at the end, and the guys are coming.
Andy Ives looking good for the Pro-Ams, but then the Sedona Tire Celebrity X Turbo class took to the track, and this is the one that all of the fans love to line up and watch.
Especially when you got people like Damon Bradshaw in there. He's got a long history, motocross, Monster Jam. Brett Turcotte on row 1. Hubert Rowland behind him.
Everyone's favorite redneck, Hubert Rowland in the second row, but look at Damon Bradshaw's start in the black and red, number 45.
Yeah, Bradshaw got off strong in the beginning as they see the drivers trying to negotiate through the Ripsaw Ridge, and Bradshaw just catching the back there of Hubert Rowland. So just a chain reaction. See Hubert slow down a little bit. Bradshaw just clipped the wheel, so as he jumped out there, threw over to the beast from the east. Had the pace, but unfortunately was upside down earlier.
Over the step up, step down, Hubert Rowland passes Brett Turcotte coming through the Sedona Tire Ripsaw Ridge. And Hubert really did turn on the afterburners for a while. Until that.
Yeah, he looked good there. And then right there, just 2 drivers going for the same piece of real estate. Surprised Hubert left the door open. Maybe didn't realize that Turcotte was as close, and then he would be out of the race with the mechanical. So Hubert looked good, but unfortunately not able to get it done. But Brett Turcotte, he will take his first win of the season.
And there it is, a snowmobiler from Clearwater, British Columbia, at the biggest snowmobile event in the world, takes the win. Georgia caught up with him.
The buggy ran great, and it's pretty fun out there. So it's just a big RC car, and we're just out here having a blast.
When we come back, the Celebrity X Turbo continues in the madness at Terracross. You do not want to miss it.